Howdy there, it's episode 29 of my blind RS3 Ironman playthrough. Taking a look at the agenda, I'm trying to complete all quests in release order, although I'm continually doing quests out of release order when it becomes relevant. Always doing dailies, weeklies, and monthlies. Big task this episode is getting my T90 Necro tank gear unlocked. There are a bunch of little subtasks involved in doing that, like getting a fight caves clear, but I'll be starting the episode trying to assemble an uncut onyx from onyx dust. This episode is going to include a bunch of first-time boss attempts against God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses, so those will be unedited. The first attempt, I'll have a timecode in the description if you want to skip it. This also includes the, what I understand now to be somewhat contentious quest, Dead and Buried. As usual, that quest is presented totally unedited, and there will be a timecode to skip to a quick quest summary if you just wanted to see the highlights. I'll try to put my thoughts on the quest in the summary as well. There are some things about it that I only noticed during editing that I'll point out there too. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. Really need to get my onyx dust up so I can get my tier 90 weapon. I don't know if I have a much better way to get an onyx right now other than to go for dust. I need to keep fighting Hermod. My Hermod kills are really slow. They're fairly low. They're not very difficult, but it's like 2 minutes per kill, and I need to get like 300 kills. I guess I'll do my dailies and just go, because I have to do Hermod anyway. I may as well see how much onyx I get from that. Alright, I got an Archglacier task for my Reaper task. I'm going to try, well, I'd like to try turning on some mechanics here, but let me just see how fast I do on zero mechanics, because maybe I could just AFK this to get my onyx dust, because it does drop it occasionally. I'll try doing this without prayer. I was comically faster. I got some onyx dust in the first kill, that's cool. Yeah, my new record is 43.8 seconds. I think it used to be like a couple minutes. That's really funny. I don't even need to use prayer potions here anymore. That's pretty great. 41 seconds. Trying to decide if I want to try to do the higher. Let me look up Archglacier with full mechanics, because it might be possible now. But I turned on like 3 mechanics. I've got the ice pillars, the adds, and the random range damage, and it still seems to be completely fine. So I do need to figure out if there's a way for me to keep up DPS during this, because this is kind of annoying. Eats your prayer. As long as my skeleton can keep DPSing it during this phase, that's kind of cool.
Faster attacks incoming.
Alright, what do I get from 3 mechanics on? 7! That might be worth it. I guess if I get a single onyx dust drop with the extra mechanics turned on, this whole thing might be more worth it. We'll see. Alright, I've done this a few times now, and it's really good. I'm gonna say it makes me feel very silly for doing zero mechanics Archglacier at all, but at the time I didn't have a busted post 99 combat skill that is completely self-sufficient and doesn't require protection prayers, right? So it's good stuff. I'll try to show you my drops here. 17 medium blunt orichalcum salvage. That would normally take me probably hours to farm for. That's going to be enough money to pay for my dailies for forever, basically. So I'm just going to keep doing this until I get enough onyx dust to make an onyx, since I need one for getting the weapon upgrade. I just had an audio dropout issue, but I'm trying a 4th mechanic here, and it doesn't seem like it makes the fight significantly harder. I should probably turn on the 5th mechanic. The 5th one is the one where the boss just like can one-shot you, and you have to use a shield to stop it from happening. I've never actually had to use a defensive cooldown in this game, but I guess this is a good enough boss to learn it on, so maybe I'll turn that on. We'll see. I'm still not really having to eat any food or use prayer or do anything that represents paying attention. All right, I'm going to try 5 mechanic. I think I have a chance to do it. I'm bringing some runes so that my bone shield can work, so I don't have to worry about like a swap. So I think I just activate resonance when it goes to use the final attack. I'll probably end up switching this and going back to 4 mechanics or 3 mechanics. I think 3 mechanics are probably the best loot per hour, but I just want to give it a try because I haven't tried it before. I didn't catch it to record, but I blocked it pretty easily. It's not a big deal. I guess I could farm up some runes just to be able to block that ability. I don't know how many times I have to face it per fight. It's actually really easy. There's a huge tell when it's about to happen, and it effectively gives you a full heal whenever you do it, so that's cool. Kind of like Bone Shield for that purpose. Probably can still do this without protection prayers. I hope I get lucky on the 5 mechanic kill, and this is when it drops an onyx dust. That would be really nice. Alright, well, I didn't get an onyx dust. We just dropped a shitload of money. I guess that's a legitimate kind of drop, I suppose. And that took 5 minutes? Yeah, I'll just stay on 5 mechanic. If I get a single Onyx drop on 5 mechanic, I should be good to go. Hey, now that's a kill. 32 Onyx dust. I don't think that's enough to get me there, unfortunately. I'll go check how much I have in the bank, but it's probably enough that I can feel fine going back to Hermod. I just don't want to spend a bunch of time on Hermod when my DPS is really bad because of my current gear. Ugh, I've got 5 Onyx dust. What does Hermod drop? Okay, so when Hermod drops Onyx dust, it's exactly 5. Perfect. So I'll just go fight Hermod then, that's fine. I can do 5 mechanic Arch Glacier. That's a bit of a jump from 0 mechanic, which is what I was previously able to do. Hey, there's my Onyx dust drop. I can get out of here. It's kind of cool that he seems to drop all the things you need for the upgrade task. Like he drops crystal keys so you can open the chest. He drops Onyx dust so you can make an Onyx. I'm gonna go ahead and make the Onyx, and then I'll probably... I guess it doesn't really matter what order I do the tasks in, but I'd like to get the fight cave out of the way because I have some brain space to spend on that this morning. I think I actually need to go get some divine energy before I can use this. Yeah, I just got a bunch of charges. Hold on. It's been so great to not touch divination at all, and I think that this strategy of just, I need some energy, going and popping a Guthix cash boost and doing it for 20 minutes should be enough energy to do anything I want to do. I'm actually curious. I might check how many divine charges this would produce. I mean, I'll do that obviously once I make the Onyx. Alright, gonna transmute this Onyx dust into an Onyx, and then I have to get some porters together to go gather snape grass. I guess you can use porters to pick up snape grass on the Fremennik Dagonoth King's Island, which seems like a pretty straightforward way to get what I need there. There's my Onyx, just gonna hold on to it. Oh, I should say I need the snape grass because I'm out of prayer potions and I need like a ton of them for fight caves. Alright, popping into the fight caves. Hopefully this will be relatively low brain power compared to my last clear. I think I'm just going to mostly ignore prayers and the like until I get, until the majors spawn. I got the meleeers now, I'm just ignoring them and completely melting them, so this seems to be fine. So I'm not even needing prayer for the majors. Like, I just stand here and I'm at full health the whole time, it's really funny. Yeah, I was basically able to AFK this whole thing. Like a couple times I literally got up and walked away and it was fine without needing to use any prayer. I'm coming up on Jad here. I just have to pay really close attention and should be fine, I think. Yep, there he is. I might just be able to ignore the healers that do so much damage. We'll see. I think he'll die before the healers even get close. Oh geez, that was not good. Be careful about running into melee with that scythe attack, geez. Okay, I do have to deal with the healers, or at least focus on him. I kind of was wishy-washy and didn't do either, which is a bad idea, I think. Alright, hopefully we'll just finish him off here. Really watch out for that scythe thing. There we go, your inner necromantic crystal shines brightly as it's relit by Tiztok Jad. Easy peasy, no problem. Alright, I'm gonna start working on some of the other ones here. Alright, I'm gonna fight these God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses. I've already tried Hellweir, so I'll just report if it goes well. It was more than a little messy, and I've had to use almost a full inventory of food, but I think I'm gonna get a Hellweir kill here, which is nice, and I can teleport back here from Horror's Retreat. I'll probably figure out the best way to dodge his attacks. I need to figure out if I need to actually do anything with the ads, because right now I've just been ignoring them, and that seems to be fine. I think if I make a more concerted effort to dodge the bleed attack, I'll have a better chance. Okay, I did get a seal, so I have to kill each of them 10 times, which is pretty brutal. Okay, I had to warp out during my second kill, but I did actually get 2 seals to drop on the first kill, so that's a good sign. So it looks like I can build up kill count here if I keep fighting them with a high multiplier, which I guess I'll just do. Get a few bits of kill count so I can just teleport right back and fight the boss without having to do this every time. Try to be more attentive to the fight this time, try to dodge his attacks more. I think he only really does 2 things that I have to worry about. There's a very brief window where I can see he does a giveaway that he's about to do a special attack. That attack, I don't know what the best way to deal with it is. He just kind of teleports to you. I think all of his attacks have a much larger apparent... They have a much larger range than they appear to have. Okay, I had a much cleaner third kill there. Still didn't do a great job. But better than nothing. Oh, and he's not guaranteed to give 2 per drop. Oops. Well, now I know. Oh, I completely misunderstood before. Once I unlock the instance, I think I just have it available. I don't have to get kill count every time I leave and return to the dungeon like God Wars Dungeon 1. So yeah, I can just leave after each kill. It's fine. I'd rather just brute force it anyway. I'll learn these bosses later when I actually want to fight them for real. Okay, I'm learning to fight better. I think that when he does the thing where he starts thrashing everywhere, you're always going to get hit by the first attack. Maybe there's a way to dodge it, but I can at least significantly reduce the damage I take by slightly moving out of his range when he does that, so I will try to start being better about doing that. That's my 5th kill. Probably need to kill him one more time. Yeah, I think I have 9 of these now total. That wasn't too bad. And that's the last thing I need. Cool, I'll go charge those with crystal keys. Okie doke, here's the crystal chest. I'm gonna try to save the rest of them for whenever I get to Prif. Oh, right on. Powering the seals. There we go. 10 empowered seals. Very easy, and I'll just delete the other one. Okay, so I still have dailies to do, but I don't want to let my 40 minutes of vampirism buff go to waste, so I'm gonna try to pick another general to kill here. I think the next easiest one is the twins. Okay, I've never fought these guys before. I have no idea what to expect. I haven't read the guide at all. It's easiest for me to just go in and try it, and then the guide will make sense to me. So let's do that. Probably know what kind of prayer to use. I guess I'll pay attention to what attacks they use. Melee and ranged. Knocks me into the wall. Okay. I don't know if I'm required to like kill them both simultaneously or something. That'd be interesting. Seem to be taking very much damage, which is probably a bad sign. An attack I probably don't want to stand in. Standing around, let's see. What y'all doing here? Seems like they're charging up something bad. Maybe don't want to be standing in the center once the fire goes away, I guess. It is a free chance to DPS them both, though, so that's nice. You take way less damage than Hellweir. I gotta figure out what that's all about. Hit chance might be the problem, it looks like. Maybe I need to bring like a potion or something to increase my hit chance. This is a somewhat similar fight to Grotesque Guardians. Oh, I don't have to do their full health's worth of damage. Okay, well that makes that quite a bit easier. I see, so them having a lot of health is so that you can fight whichever one makes sense without feeling like you need to burn one down. They basically have like a secret shared health bar. That's kind of a neat way to do the fight. It makes it hard to tell how close I am to winning, but I didn't even notice that their shared health bar is displayed prominently at the top of the screen. Just saw that. Okay, once she jumps away, I gotta head over to her. Got it. Alright, my second and third kills went much better. I think I can actually, I know exactly how to handle all of the attacks in this fight. I didn't realize that they take like double damage during this phase, which got 239 noted Infernal Ashes. That's kind of a cool drop. Okay, yeah, I think I fully understand the mechanics in this fight, and I mean, like, this is my last attempt. I used one shark, so bigger thing is just Prayer Grain. I'll just have to get some more prayer pots if I try this again in the future. This is the first boss I've ever fought where fighting on full manual seems like it might be a good idea, because you can try to conserve to do as much damage as possible when they take double damage. I'm not going to do that right now because it's too much work, but it's kind of cool to finally see a boss after all this time that would justify it. Really getting maybe I got really lucky with Hellweir. At least I'm getting unlucky on an easy boss. Okay, I got that kill. I'd like to demonstrate these bosses for folks who haven't played RS3 before, but I'll come back once I have my T90 weapon and my gears caught up and stuff, because I'd like to actually be able to do it smoothly. Okay, this should be farming 94, I think. There it is, farming 94. Slowed down a lot lately. It's a new day and I'm working on some dailies. I just finished Arch Glacier for... I did 5 mechanic Arch Glacier for my Reaper task. I still have Vampirism up, so I'm going to try to keep working on God of War's Dungeon 2 bosses here before the aura wears off. So I think Vindicta is the next easiest boss. I think I can see where she is, or he is on the map here. Southwest. I guess Gregorovic is the hardest, so as long as I can brute force my way through it, that's all that really matters here. I know very little about Vindicta, other than that they're pretty straightforward. It's mostly just auto attack damage, so I'll get in there and see if there's some obvious things I can dodge. I think of the bosses I've practiced so far, I understand the Twin Furies the best. Like I said, I'll probably spend some time bossing once I get my T90 setup, weapons and armor. And I'd love to come back here and kind of show you what I've learned about these guys. Okay, I think you protect range for this boss. Let's go in and see how it goes. Vindicta and Gorvek. I'm just gonna do a kill here, and I have no idea what to expect other than that. Boss mainly does auto attacks. Oh, those are melee. Protect melee instead then. Pretty straightforward intro to the fight. No crazy bleed sacks like Hellweir. Okay, probably don't stand in the fire. It's pretty straightforward. Turn on my offensive prayers. Maybe move out of the way of that. So far, Vindicta is less visually complicated. Okay, now we got phase 2. It's pretty cool, very Dark Souls 3. Actually, I wonder if this came out after Dark Souls 3. Even has the same kind of weapon. That's kind of cool, moving across the screen like that. Protect melee, I guess big ranged attacks now happening sometimes. I feel like the majority of the attacks are melee. Probably stuff I could have done to dodge here, but this feels like the most straightforward boss I've encountered so far. When you just don't stand in the fire, right? I wonder if I'm supposed to switch to protect range in the final phase here. Boy. Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Only got 1 seal on the first kill, but that's okay. Probably have enough resources to get 2 kills in here. Or trip. Switching to protect range in phase 2 seems like the way to go. You take quite a bit less melee damage. I like the way the boss is constantly breathing fire. It's kind of cool. Just do 2 kills at a time for now. That seems fine. I think I learned in this most recent kill that this boss has an attack counting element, kind of like Hydra in old school RuneScape. In the second phase, the boss does melee, melee, ranged. So you kind of need to protect in that order to minimize damage taken. One more trip. I try to squeeze it out in the last 10 minutes of my Vampirism aura, then I'm going to get back on dailies. It might actually be worth me farming Vindicta at some point. It looks like she's one of the very few bosses in the game that just drops a weapon, like a good upgrade. She drops a really powerful halberd. That would be great for melee training, even though melee is almost totally deprecated by necromancy being so powerful. Like, there's basically no reason I would ever use another
combat skill outside of content that's literally immune to necromancy damage. It would still be good to max attack strength. Probably end up switching XP gain to defense at some point for necromancy. Yeah, so she's a bit easier to manage than typical attack counting in old school. There's a couple bosses that do that, and regular enemies that are kind of annoying. But basically, she does melee, ranged, melee, flyaway, melee, ranged, melee, flyaway. So you can pretty heavily minimize damage. You take advantage of knowing that. I only need 2 more seals, so it could be over after this kill, otherwise I'll get one more kill after this. Significantly reduced. Okay, yeah, we're done. I'll get another kill anyway, because I have the supplies for it and I'm already here. Why not? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Since I got too many seals, it looks like the boss just drops the seals. Wait, maybe that's a different item. Let me double check. Necromantic Seal of the Dragon Riders is a different item. Yeah, that is a different item. Okay, just random chance. Good to know. Okay, so I've recognized the other 3 gods here. There's Zeros, yep, Zamorak, and Saren, but I don't recognize Slisk. I got nervous there. I didn't see any stairs. Undead, basically. So if Slisk is like the god of undead, I wonder why I haven't encountered him at all in the necromancy content. Maybe that comes up later. Alright, so once again, I'm just gonna pop in and attempt this boss while having no idea what I'm doing, and then I'll maybe try to figure it out. Vindicta was pretty easy to figure out even without looking at the wiki at all. You need 80 prayer to traverse this barrier. I did not realize that there was gonna be a prayer requirement on the back end of all of this. Okay. I probably have enough banked bones to be able to make that happen. I have stopped doing Nemi Forest. Fortunately, I already activated vampirism here. Probably gonna be training this for longer than an hour. Okay, so I think this is gonna create a candy loop here. I would like to wait to train prayer until I have the tier 3 chapel, but that's gonna require that I get to 87 construction, which I should be able to do. Shouldn't be a big deal. Fortunately, I can take all these bones out of here because I will never use bones again for necromancy rituals. I get way more mementos than I think I'll ever need from bones. Okay, here's the plan, I think. I'm going to go ahead and do the next Fort Forinthry quest, Dead and Buried. That'll let me build the Ranger's workroom so I can use some more of my banked frames. And then after that, I'll just use Acadia frames or something to level construction. I don't need to get all the way to 90, I just have to get to 87, so it shouldn't be too huge of a grind, hopefully. I guess just a warning, I'll put this as usual, but the Fort 4 and 3 quests so far have usually had a ton of dialogue, so you might just want to skip to the summary. We'll see. I will record all of it, though. Oh, the raptor's all tiny. Get a new model for the quest. Playing plenty of Zamoragals undead. Press our advantage. Accept quest. Enough talk. Meet me in. It's the horn from Fish Flingers. Gave me brief non-clinical PTSD. Aster. Reading another mystery novel. Culture and Customs of the Dragonkin. Oh yeah, more dot. Dragons are experiments created by the Dragonkin. Did not know that. I know that from old school. A groan reverberates in the raptor's helmet. Map of Kingrold and Elamaria. Mountain of Gold Coins. Huge tracts of lands. Royal gift. A painting of them. Great. Must we? I don't know what to say. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. That's part of like the roof, I think. Okay. Word with me in private. Zombie bites, claw marks, disembowelment. Oh yeah, fort guards rule. San Dimas high school football rules. Aren't they like Black Knights? Oh, this is why. Okay, I'm like, why? What does this have to do with fletching? We have to build a fletching station to make ranged attackers. Dark warriors, technically, right? Sophia. Fort guards rule. Just interviewing her in full necromancer garb. Let's be the guard captain because she's a born leader. Leadership skills. Combat. Should have prepared some questions. Would you rather fight 100 imp-sized unicorns or 1 unicorn-sized imp? Okay, she's good at ranged attacking. Quite the tactician. Guard under your command is disobeyed in order to patrol the fort walls and instead spent the day at a gnome ball game. How would you handle it? Ahaha! What's your greatest weakness? What kind of question is that? I don't know. It's a common interview question. I work too hard? You're right. Stupid question. I work hard, I fight hard, I play hard. What actions do you take to defend against the recent undead attacks? You're gonna make more ranged attackers, right? Ranger's workroom. Okay, got it. She has some good ideas. Captain of the Fort for Infantry Guard, should you choose to accept. Cap Rap. You're relieved of your captainly duties and may reside at the fort as our welcome guest. Thank you for your service. Speak to Bill, give him the specifications for your ranger's workroom. Okay, that's kind of cool to make it seem like it's not you doing all of that, even though you're totally doing all of that, right? I just talked to Bill, I assume. Dead and buried. Really wants a beer garden. Hopefully he gets one by the end. An intervention. Oh my god. This is really funny. They're on the blueprints table. Okay, so I need a bunch of Acadia frames, so I'll start making those. As for Ironman, this quest technically requires Menaphos access to complete, so it has more prerequisites than it seems to. Alright, got my Acadia frames together for the quest. While I'm here, I'm just going to combine the Necromantic Crystal with my Onyx. I don't like it burning a hole in my bank here. Pulsating Onyx. There we go. Cool. Alright, Ranger's Workroom Tier 1. Start blueprint. Oh, just over here. That's fair. Very close to finishing this build. I do have the materials to get this all the way to Tier 3 once the quest is done. Alright, nice. Alright, talking to Sophia. Need to head to the crypt. Everything you need before we go. The guards are set up. It's in your task. We'll check in when you return. Good luck. Okay. Talk to the raptor. Dead and buried. Meet me in the crypt north of here. Okay. Wondering what the significance is of the painting at the beginning of the quest. Like, modern quests tend to do the plant remind payoff thing, so like, how is that gonna matter? Oh, where's that crypt? It's like in here somewhere, I think. Oh, here we go. This is like a little portal. Yes. I just moved us into a instance area. Kill these guys. Find materials to build a bridge over the lava. Okay. Oh, I have to find materials. Okay. Spooky holes? Oh, okay. It's kind of a weird mechanic, but okay. Oh, and then some material ghouls have spawned for the last couple materials. Okay. Weird. Alright, constructing the bridge. Oh, it is September, so I could probably do the god statues. That's some extra construction XP. I'll wait to do it until I've finished building the max level Ranger's workroom. Investigate ancient door. This is actually kind of similar to something in Fossil Island. Oh, I got a pillar puzzle. It'll take both of us to solve this. Let's like push it at the same time. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Whoa, that's weird. Why does it give me a invention cape? Must be confused. That was very strange. Raptor gives the artifact a contemplative shake, makes a fragile noise. Should research this device. Magical artifacts can be dangerous. Reldo the librarian. Okay. There's another portal here outside Reldo's room. Alright, dead and buried. Yes. What's up? What a pleasant surprise. How are you finding your role? Not what I expected. New identities can be challenging, as can old ones. Something I'm sure everyone here can attest to. Okay. Oh, yeah. So it is kind of like Fossil Island. Can't bore you with the details too late. Cause you to fall into a deep sleep and have vivid dreams. Record your dreams. Okay, that must be another quest I haven't done. Oh, it's straightforward. What happened to the raptor? Is he dead? He's imprisoned in a mental maze constructed from his worst nightmares. Forever-ish. Make a potion of dreamless sleep before you use the device. Wouldn't do for you to get trapped in nightmares of your own. Oh, weird. I wonder if there was a version of this quest where you had to like make one and they removed it so the quest wouldn't have requirements. I don't know. Suppress your dreams. Activate the device. Okay, bye. I guess that's why we're doing that with Reldo instead of going to like the Lunar Isle, because they didn't want the quest to have any prerequisites. This is another one. I think that this would be great if you went to the Lunar Isle and talked to the Neuromancer, but nope, we're not doing that. With you in the library. Oh, there's a new icon down here. Is that to switch characters? Oh, that's kind of cool. Shouldn't be here. Okay, so what are we doing here? Oh, these are like pressure plates? Okay, hold on. Got it. I must be confused by the necromancy cape. It's quite funny.
You need to move this. Okay. Oh, there's a pull option. Got it. Will make you watch me push all these boulders forever. It's quite slow. The zone looks kind of cool. I like the little house in the middle of the area. What a weird and honestly kind of dull puzzle. Like, it doesn't really require any brain. It's just slowly push and pull this boulder around. I also don't see how it's related to the raptor's mind, but whatever. Oh, we got some kind of cutscene here. Don't show this. Where are they? Nothing to you. I love you, Mummy. I love you, Daddy. Oh, is this either the raptor's daughter or the raptor is the girl? That would be kind of cool. I have no idea. I haven't done any of the other missions, know anything about the raptor's back history or backstory, so maybe that comes up elsewhere. That makes things a little bit more complicated, at least. I'd say this is like the most busy work puzzle I've encountered in a modern quest. I was worried it was going to make me push those boulders all the way from that gate over here. Okay, just in case there's another cutscene here. Don't run in. It's like a burning house. They all produce? Okay, only the one produces a stone. Got it. This puzzle is so lame, it makes me wonder if there is supposed to be a better puzzle. Especially with the whole going into someone's dream thing. Like, that's a cool concept, and especially a way to learn more about this character, but it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so busy worky, right? Like, lots of just pushing this boulder. Oh, got another cutscene. I can save you, just hold on. Well, that sucks. Got Uncle Owen and Aunt Berude. Standing on that gives me another boulder. But that one sticks around when I run off the spot. Whatever, it's fine. Right, this should open the gate. Let's see if it triggers another cutscene. What's up, kid? You the raptor? Are you the raptor's sister? The raptor's, well, not the raptor's daughter, apparently. She died a long time ago. She's me. Nice. Oh, cool. I like that. That was a neat one. Oh my god, Elamaria is the raptor. I was actually just editing the video where I talked about how the previous quest kind of retcons Elamaria. I guess that's why they showed the painting at the beginning of the quest. That's kind of a cool reveal. They had to change the raptor's model, though, which implies that that wasn't planned, which I guess it's fine if it wasn't planned, but... Because I said in that video, like, retconning is, it's fine. It's how you do media like this, right? You make a character like the raptor, the player's not supposed to know who they are, so you do like a mystery box where you don't know who the character's going to be. So this is as fine a reveal as any. Curious if this is going to make sense in previous quests featuring the raptor. Why'd you marry the king? Couldn't you have been a warrior queen? Okay, she's a commoner.
I feel like this reveal... Okay, so here's how I would put this. I don't dislike this, and I think that the Fort for N3 quest series has done a good job of setting it up by like having prior quests have you meet Elamaria and learn more about her so that this fits more. But I think this particular quest and this particular dream sequence with the lame like boulder puzzles is kind of a lame way to do it. Like, I think they could do this exact same twist and make this like dream sequence be way cooler and more exciting instead of it just being like, oh, by the way, the Raptor's Elamaria, I guess. Like, okay, that's cool, but can we like explore it a little bit further instead of just having the screen flip to her? Let's go deeper. This place is creepy. There's a light up ahead. Dim light. All right, well, this is better already. The nightmare. Oh, leave them to me. I need to do this. Okay. Dream Raptor. Only able to perform the finishing blow. Okay. Bianca. This is a little clunky, but at least this is more like what I would have hoped for right earlier in the quest rather than the stupid boulder puzzle, so at least it improves a little bit. Interact with the pillar of light. Oh. Let's see then. It's rolled. Nothing will stop the passage of time. My inevitable fate. Are they going to kill Rolled? Oh, so she can become queen? More nightmares. Okay. It is kind of neat, like, this is what I was talking about when you switch to her. I like that the look of the nightmare changes to some character in her life. That's cute. This is better game mechanics as storytelling than the boulder puzzles. I probably just need to be nicer to the game, but those boulder puzzles were, oof, very stupid. I wish this wasn't so clunky. I mean, they're doing the... Having to switch between them is cool, because then you see the nature of the nightmare change. But I don't know if that effect is worth how clunky it is to get them to low health and then have to switch to the other character. Okay, Bianca. Aster's sister. All our years of friendship. You tried to kill my husband. I think there's also way too many of these. I think each of these should be like exactly one of each of the characters instead of it being like 5 and having them repeat like this. Just a very janky quest. It's unfortunate because it's a cool idea. I always hate when this happens in stories where like the developers have a cool idea, they just like totally flub the execution. All right, the Raptor, what now? Guards can't hurt me. Was that Zamoragal or whoever? Rando guy who lives in a cave. Dracoon, Vorkath. Ooh, Vorkath. Dragon, Vorkath, Necromancy. Are they like trying to like tease Vorkath? That explains the stuff from Fossil Island. Get back to the crypt. I'll meet you there. Okay. Continue dead and buried. Crypt guards are both dead. That's not good. Okay, going to the cool Dragonkin door. I like that they had the little character that's like, by the way, did you know about the Dragonkin? I'm like, that's kind of a random thing to bring up, but yeah. I do, actually. But he's broken the seal. The Moragal. Who else could it be? Tread carefully as you explore this tomb. There's dragon skulls everywhere. Oh, hey, it's the little map table from Dragon Slayer 2. I wonder if they're going to do like a version of Dragon Slayer 2 here. Dust has been disturbed. It's broken recently. Part of a map. Have faith in you. Okay. Got some enemies to fight. So I guess they're like setting up a RS3 version of Dragon Slayer 2, which is kind of a cool idea. 7 map pieces left to find. Okay, this is similar to the finding the materials before. I'll just do it and report back. There's a cool mural over here. Admire. Is that Vorkath? Oh, Zamorgal's gonna resurrect Vorkath. Okay, that's kind of cool. I think that crosstalk between RS3 and old school is kind of a fun concept, to be honest. It's a little silly, but I guess if you only ever played RS3 and don't know anything about old school, the word Vorkath would mean nothing and the mural would mean nothing, right? But it's still kind of cool. I do really like the idea of having a fork. What if the game went in a different direction, but then they just keep kind of going in their own direction? Okay, got all the map pieces, and it's the same puzzle as old school RuneScape. Unfortunately, I don't have RuneLight to solve the sliding block puzzle for me, so this might take me a minute. Yeah, uh-oh. Move the pieces around. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm gonna be here for a minute. At least I can see where the corner pieces are. That's helpful. Okay. I turned on a thing in-game that makes it so it highlights the pieces when they're placed correctly, so that helps a little bit. I'm just trying to do the outside as much as I can. I think the way you do sliding block puzzles, and remember, I'm really bad at these, but I think the way you do these is you try to just keep making a smaller and smaller square of remaining tiles that you need to fuck with. So I think you do need to do the outside first. So that makes sense to me. I think actually putting this corner piece in before finishing this piece is incorrect. Okay, you don't want to compare the on-screen timestamp now to when I started this puzzle. This took me forever. That looks complete. The Lunar Sea, Fremennik territory. Recognize that island there. It's cool. Let's get out of here. See you back at the fort. Nobody has to know my identity ever, no matter the stakes. Can do. Talking to Civ, who is Fremennik, dead and buried. The ocean north of Relica, all Fremennik know of those treacherous waters. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's the same. So they are really setting up Dragon Slayer 2, or at least just Vorkath. Okay, cool. Talk to the raptor. Island does exist. Until then, quest complete. Cool.
At fair warning here, this quest summary is going to be super long because I also have a lot of thoughts about the quest design itself. So if you really don't want to hear me rant about it for 7 minutes, you should skip ahead. Dead and Buried is a continuation of the Fort 4 and 3 quest chain. This quest feels very odd in that it's trying to do a lot of things in one quest. It's odd in a way that I've never detected with RuneScape quests. It feels like a Marvel movie. Like there's pressure from the Marvel higher-ups to make the creators foreshadow upcoming movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So this quest is about 3 things. It's nominally about upgrading your fort so that you have a fletching workstation. That's like what the quest is supposed to be about. It's also about foreshadowing Vorkath, who's an old school RuneScape boss that they're adapting in RS3. And finally, it's about explaining the Raptor's backstory, which isn't handled as well as I would have liked. So I'll walk through those in reverse order in my summary here. Now, I haven't played RS3 for years, so I have no emotional connection whatsoever to the character of the Raptor. I've run into the Raptor a couple times as like a Slayer Master and that sort of a thing. My understanding of the Raptor is that they're supposed to be like a mysterious armored figure who we know nothing about, who just shows up as one of the like signature adventurers in a whole bunch of quests. So the big twist reveal of Dead and Buried is that the Raptor is actually Queen Elamaria, who old school RuneScape players might remember from the quest Garden of Tranquility. Now, they've actually set this up. They've spent a lot of time setting this up in prior Fort 4 and 3 quests, especially the Murder Mystery quest, where you learn a lot about Queen Elamaria. You find out she has a really high Slayer level, that she's good at combat, that kind of a thing. I actually think it's a really cool new direction to take her character. I even like the idea that she's the Raptor. That's kind of a cool idea. It's obviously not something that they were planning from the beginning when they added the Raptor. It's obviously not anywhere in the minds of the people who wrote the quests that introduced Elamaria in the first place. Garden of Tranquility is kind of an unfortunate, poorly aged quest about a nagging wife, right? And instead we're making the nagging wife into this like badass warrior archetype. And again, that's fine. That's even good, I would say. You know, a lot of people's favorite media is heavily pantsed. If you haven't heard that term before, in writing, you can either be a planner or a pantser. And by pants, we mean like fly by the seat of your pants. Make things up as you go along, essentially. Famously pantsed series is Breaking Bad and its prequel, Better Call Saul. Some of the most important characters on those shows were like a serendipitous accident. They weren't supposed to be included, and they were made super important in retrospect. Saul Goodman is actually one of those characters. He's introduced like Elamaria as kind of a joke, and then they go back and they do the prequel show, and it's better than Breaking Bad, in my opinion. But I bring that up to say that, like, I don't think the concept of pantsing and just, you know, doing a complete 180 retcon and saying, actually, Elamaria is not a nagging housewife, she's a badass warrior, and she's actually the Raptor. I don't think that concept is rotten to its core. But that said, I don't think that this quest delivers that twist as well as it could have. First of all, I think the twist is a big enough deal that it deserved its entire own separate quest that was just about that concept. You find out by like diving into the Raptor's dreams, and frustratingly they do another RS3 thing where you like use a dream potion to go into her dreams, which in old school RuneScape would require you to complete Lunar Diplomacy to get the Dream Potion from the Oniromancer, but here they don't want to have any prerequisites on Fort 4 and 3 quests, so Reldo just gives you a Dream Potion. And then watching the VOD, knowing where it was going, I think I understand what they were trying to go for, because you go into her dream and you do these terrible puzzles. It's like they're like bafflingly terrible puzzles about pushing boulders around onto switches. And when I was actually playing through it, I'm like, what is this? This is embarrassing. Why is this here? Why is this like this? But on watching the VOD during editing, I'm like, oh, I get what they were going for. They're trying to like call back to Garden of Tranquility, right? Because Garden of Tranquility has the infamous part where you have to push the statue around, and so the boulders are like pushing the statue. But I feel like that metaphor only really works, one, if you require Garden of Tranquility as a prerequisite for this quest, which it doesn't, which is one of my biggest criticisms of RS3, the total obliteration of quest gating. But you also like have to know that that's what it's referencing during the quest. When you don't know that the reveal is going to be that the raptor is Elamaria, you're just like, what is this weird boulder pushing thing? And again, I think the concept of doing this in Elamaria's mind is a really smart way to do the reveal, but it's just they don't explore the dreamscape concept well enough, I don't think. It's kind of like random noise, random noise, random noise. The raptor is Elamaria, and you're like, what? That doesn't connect. That doesn't seem like the natural consequence of the things I've learned up to this point. To me, a good twist like this is one where once it's revealed, you're like, oh, I see how that all connects. I see how I could have deduced that myself from the information that's been provided to me up to this point. But here it's like they had a bullet point item. We need to reveal that the raptor is Elamaria in this quest for our future plans. And so it just happens. It's a bummer. It bums me out because, you know, it's a good idea. I think they fumbled it. And there's some really douchey people on the internet who are going to be mad about the raptor being Elamaria, not because they did a bad job of writing the quest, but because they're douchey. And it sucks that when you want to do a twist like this, you have to like be superb with it. You can't just put out a mid-quest about this kind of reveal, because the douchey people on the internet will they'll ride on the coattails of the legitimate criticism of the quest. You know, someone like me will come out and say, I really don't like the way this quest is written. They'll go, hell yeah, fuck women. It's a disappointment. The other two parts of the quest are the setting up of Vorkath, which is actually kind of cool. You do a similar map sliding block puzzle as what you have in Dragon Slayer 2 in old school RuneScape. The implication here is that Zamoragal, who, again, I guess is some kind of important character in the RuneScape 3 lore, but whom I've never encountered outside of Fort 4 and 3, Zamoragal is going to resurrect and use Vorkath, which is cool. He's an undead dragon. You've got a guy who canonically in your universe is a necromancer. Cool idea. I really like the forked universe concept of old school and RS3. I think it would be really cool to see another MMO take this approach. If, WoW Classic ever decided to do an old school RuneScape and fork their game and then have WoW Retail and WoW Classic talk to each other in that way, where content will come out in Classic that might get mirrored or commented on in Retail in some way. The final and, like I said, nominal point of the quest is that you're trying to build a fletching workroom, which requires you to do a job interview to hire someone to manage the fletching workroom, which is kind of a little funny sequence, but the whole quest could have just been that. It could have been essentially a mini quest to hire her. And I think I would have preferred that approach and give an entire quest worth of focus on the Elamaria is Raptor reveal. But this is what we got, so this is what we have to live with. Let's get back to the playthrough. Okay, so I'm going to finish building the workroom. Obviously take my construction lamp. And I should probably still put prismatic lamps. I'm thinking about moving to Herblore now. I know Herblore is kind of the long-term skill that I need to dump on. Summoning made sense up to now, but GP is significantly less of an issue now that my necromancy is such a high level. I don't really care about gold anymore when it comes to summoning. I did for a long time, and now I don't. So now I think all lamps and stuff are going to go on Herblore. All right, so I'm going to fully upgrade the Ranger's workhouse and then go do God statues and see what construction level that gets me to. All right, I've got all of my mahogany frames together for the Tier 2 Ranger's workroom. Here we go. Probably get... Well, I don't think I'm going to quite get a construction level from this one. All right, close to getting the Tier 2. I already have the magic frames together for the Tier 3, so we'll knock that out and see what level that gets me to. I should get at least one level out of this, almost guaranteed to. Okay, should get 84 construction here. There it is, 84.
3 to go. I really want to get this done, so my weeklies are available. I might even go ahead and dump my bonus XP and like lamps and stuff onto this just to finish it up. Then I'll start putting it on Herblore. Necromancy annihilates Aggaroth. Like he only gets one phase because of all the ads fighting it. Excited to have this built. I haven't done any fletching training in an extremely long time. I'll probably do it again. I am buying broad arrow tips every day, so whenever I finish unlocking broader fletching, which will be whenever I get back to actually training Slayer, which is not high on my priority list at the moment. There it goes. All right. I am not even 85. This is gonna be brutal. Partially tempted to go do Recipe for Disaster Evil Dave to get spicy stew, because I could boost for a spicy stew. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna see how much XP I can get out of the god statues. I don't think it's even gonna be, I mean, it'll get me to 85, but certainly not to 86. Any little boost I can get will help though. That is construction 85. And decent amount of prayer XP, which is why I'm doing this, for prayer. Okay, I did all my dailies, and if I did my math correctly, I think I have to do like 10 tier 2 chapel reinforcements to get to 87. I'm a little worried that at 87 I'm not going to be able to make my elder frames without having to boost and walk back here constantly. Oh yeah, that's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to like make a T boost and then teleport here. It's gonna suck. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Okay, so what I think I can do is what I did with boosts for gathering some of those flowers for hunter training, where I can sip the tea, come over here, spend 30 seconds making planks, and then hop. And I think if I hop after every patch of planks, it shouldn't decay, because it takes about 32 seconds to make the planks, and decay is once every 60 seconds. So I'm still gonna just go to 87, I think, rather than try to push to 88 or 89. All right, buying another port upgrade over here while I'm working on my construction training. I guess I have to pick one of these. Sinister, Nautical, or Luxurious Bar. Why would I take, I don't know why I would take this one. I guess it's a higher chance of adventurers. Maybe I want this eventually. I haven't gotten a 10k cost captain ever so far. It's actually kind of frustrating. You have that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to build before I spend on this. Actually, let me pick up this boost to Jade rewards first. It's more immediately impactful. Oh, I probably should have known this when I set out to do it, but I'm only just now finishing the frames. It's been a really long time since I started this candy loop of getting construction to 87. So I might be able to get to 87 today. It's going to push it. It takes a really long time to actually do the reinforcement. I will almost certainly not get the prayer levels today or be able to finish getting my tier 90 weapon. But that's the goal. That's the plan. If I have my tier 90 weapon, I can start working on getting the rest of my tier 90 gear. And once I have a full tier 90 tank set, I'm free. I can do everything. All right, beginning the process of blueprints. We're doing 10 of these. Oh, fuck, god damn it. I had my spacebar held down. Well, guess I'm making this real quick. Hey, construction 86, one more level to go. I might actually build a chunk of these at the kitchen just because there's fewer spots, which I think means that it's less likely the thing's gonna move around because it only has a 1 in 3 chance to move, right? Or rather, when it moves, it can only pick 1 of 3 locations, so the chance it stays on the same location is higher. The more precise way of putting that. Okay, about to hit my goal level here. I'm overdid it a little bit on Acadia frames, so I'm just gonna bank that. I'll finish this build though. It's 87 construction. All right, so I don't have time to make all of my elder logs into planks, but I want to see if this hopping strategy even works. So first I have to figure out when my time is up. So I'm just gonna wait here until it ticks down to 89, drink it, teleport, hop worlds, repeat until I can get this done. I'm making the planks now. I think my strategy is going to be make the planks as it takes about 30 seconds, replace the inventory, and then relog and repeat. XP for this is actually fairly decent. This will inflate the time it takes me to make these. I have to make like 50 of them because they're really mean about it. but it should be doable, I think. I should make a bank preset so that this is faster. Yeah, I've done a few batches. This is like my 4th batch, and it's completely fine. There's tons of room for error, so I think that I was worried that I wouldn't be able to actually make the planks, but it's actually not that big of a deal. Okay, I'm back on the boost train. I'm going to do this before I get back on my dailies. I've made 600 elder planks. Now I have to make all of those into refined planks and then all of them into frames while still logging out constantly to keep my boost up. So that's what I'm doing. I can do about 2 inventories full of refined elder planks per login cycle, and I think it'll be a little bit slower for frames, but this is doable. All right, this is the last of the refined planks. Now I'm going to do the frames. Each individual frame takes forever to process, so I'm currently doing about 5 of these before logging out, but it's still very doable. I'm going to try to quickly log out and make the stone that I'm going to need and get the blueprint started. And then we're home free. Okay, I've got my 50 elder frames. I'm making my stone wall segment. I'm going to run over to this blueprint table and hopefully get it started. And I was able to make that boost last a really long time. Tier 3 chapel, let's go. All right, and now I can chill out. I don't have to keep logging off every 30 seconds. This is pretty exciting. I'm glad to finally have this one done. So now I'll actually be able to train prayer. How much XP do I get for each one of these? 538, good lord. The XP from this is so good that I'm kind of tempted to just like cut elder logs when I need to have AFK. Just accrue a ton of elder logs and just dump them on this to get construction XP, because I feel like I could get construction at 99 pretty easily here. I'm actually curious what the XP rate is. I'll turn on the tracker here in a sec. Okay, so it's about 1 million XP per hour. That's pretty great. I could actually get to 99 pretty comfortably. I'd have to look up how many planks I would need, how many logs I would need to gather, but I'll do that math at some point. There's the completion. Didn't quite get a level up from that, but really close to 88. I'm gonna hop over to the porter's world because I think the burners are shared, which seems crazy, but okay, so maybe they're only shared on for like non-Ironmen. Let me check. Cool to finally get to use this prayer outfit that I have never used. Yeah, I think the shared burners thing might just not apply to Ironman. I can't find any information about it, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and still train it on the portable skilling world just in case it matters in some way. And I'm going to try to use, I've got thousands of Marantils, so I'm going to try just throwing like 500 Marantils on there if it'll let me. I don't know how many it allows me to try to build up here. I don't think it matters what order I do them in. All the herbs in the burner will last for another 2 hours to do. That's probably overkill. I don't even know if I'm going to be doing this for that long. Okay, well, now I know. I'm just going to go through all of the bones I have because I don't need any of them for... I don't think I can do this any faster if I click it faster, so maybe that will last. I'm just going to use literally all my bones since they don't matter for necromancy at all. Prayer 75, I will almost certainly get 80 here. This is pretty good XP per hour. And I've got plenty of bones. Definitely learned my lesson not to throw 500 herbs on that thing because I don't even think I'm going to use all of them. Kind of unfortunate. Prayer 76. 77 prayer, 3 to go. Since I put in too many herbs, I'm just going to use all of my bones and see where that gets me. Prayer 78, I'm actually starting to become a little worried that I'm not going to hit 80. I'm going through all my weak bones. I guess Dagonoth bones aren't very weak, but still. It's really fortunate that I ended up killing all of those green and red dragons. I would not have enough bones to get to 80 otherwise. It's cutting real close. About to get prayer 79. Yeah, one more. Okay, the very, very deep candy loop is over. Prayer 80, I am done. I still have an hour left on the burner, but I'm just going to take it as a mistake rather than try to sit here for terribly much longer. Just to show you how many bones I have left, I still have 449 dragon bones, so I guess I wasn't as close as I was worried I was going to be. This is all my bones left over even after the entire necromancy grind. And I have 12,820 ashes left, so that's cool. Next time I come back in a couple seconds from your perspective, I will finish getting the T90 Necromancer stuff. Okay, it's a new day, and I'm ready to go fight Gregorovic. just wanted to show how many bones I have left. 746 regular bones. I made it through all of my big bones and all of my dragon and dinosaur bones and baby dragon bones, and I'm close to 81, but I don't even think I'd get to 81 if I offered all of those regular bones. So it was still pretty close. All right, attempting Gregorovic for the first time. Haven't read anything. Probably gonna get annihilated, but just want to give the fight an attempt. I think this one might be the one that's protect from range. I'll just go in there with protect from range and see what happens. So he's got a little thing he throws at you. It's not dodgeable, it looks like. This hit pretty hard. His voice is pretty funny. Okay, so he summons an ad that I probably need to kill quickly. Knowing video games. So he might have a lot of unavoidable damage. This battle music's pretty funny. Very different from what I usually am hearing in RuneScape. He hits way harder. I need to use all of my food just to get one kill here. After the one kill, I should read the wiki, because he just seems like he's ridiculously more damage than the other bosses. Maybe there's a trick to it. He switches places with his little shadow clones. He seriously seems to be like 5 times more damage than the other bosses. Okay, I got one kill, so I can brute force it. It'll take forever, but it's possible. Oh, but I'm an idiot and forgot to bring my greater necroplasm, so he didn't actually drop the seal I need. Whoops. Okay, well, I learned my lesson. I had a slightly better time by using adrenaline crystals to come in with my summons already out, and this command Vengeful Ghost ability activated. That seems to have helped a lot, so let's do that in the future. I gotta stay out of melee range of him, I think, because he has a really nasty melee attack. Probably just gonna warp out after every kill. I move my attuned portal over to him so I can actually use the attuned crystals. I don't know if that, like, stuff he rains from the sky is dodgeable at all. Looks like there's not a lot of tell for it. Okay, I at least found out that it's possible to dodge the raining attack. I'm now seeing the little marker on the ground that I was just standing in before. So he's a lot easier if you don't stand in the bad, surprise, but he still does insanely more damage than the other bosses, so maybe he's like balanced, assuming you have Soul Split or something. Okay, so I think the reason he's been annihilating me is that he does poison. He poisons you without actually putting a poison debuff on you. So like having a super anti-poison active makes you take less damage from him. It's kind of an interesting mechanic, I guess. It's not what I was expecting. How much that affects the damage I take if I just have an anti-poison on. I need to bring like multiple of those to reduce my incoming damage. That's been the problem the whole time. That would be quite funny. It's just like a check to see if you have an anti-poison potion equipped. It does seem to make me take less damage. Oh, you really only have like a tick to get out of the stuff falling from the ceiling. Still hits really hard, but I think a lot of the damage I was taking was like poison damage, so definitely not a boss I would target farm. I would farm Vindicta, I would farm the Furies. I might farm Hellweir, but Hellweir also seems to have a lot of very difficult to avoid damage. He must be doing something to like reduce my poison resist when he attacks me there. Maybe it's a reason to bring a full pot and use it whenever he degrades it. But he does like an attack where he throws his little throwing stars in the air, so that's what I should be looking for, not the shadows on the ground. I think by the time I see the shadows on the ground, it's already too late to avoid it. So I need one more of these, I think. Okay, it seems like there's also an audio cue for when he throws them, the chakrams in the air, so that'll help. I guess having an inventory with some anti-poisons in it would help in the future. Need to research exactly how that works, but it is kind of funny that he just has the ability to do raw poison damage. It doesn't actually tick for poison damage. I don't know if it's just like extra damage on top of what you're taking from his normal attacks or what the deal is. I don't know who Slisk is, but this guy tells me a lot of what I need to know about Slisk, apparently. Chaos, Undead, Joker. Alright, task complete. Let me get the hell out of here. These drops are pretty bad too compared to the other bosses. I didn't get anything like really exciting or resource useful. Okay, so I think that concludes all the PVM I have to do, which was quite a lot, but it's done now. I need to charge these seals, and I have to get the blueberry pie, which I think is going to require me to do a quest, actually. So let me figure out how to charge these seals. Okay, I need to make more essence, so I'll do one quick ritual. I don't want to spend a lot of time on rituals. I haven't done a single ritual since I hit 103, so I guess I'll just switch this over to powerful essence. Yeah. Or elemental 3 to change 2 to change 3. I switched the glyphs to the colorblind variant. It's a lot easier for me to like notice the disturbances with it. I'm not colorblind, but I think it looks better. Alright, I guess now we'll find out what the XP is like with the nerf. They did in fact nerf it when Hero Pass came out. It was the one patch note. They didn't fix item XP, but they made sure to nerf rituals. You'd probably get away with just doing one of these, but oh yeah, that's way less XP. That used to give like 6k XP per click, and now it's like 3940. Honestly, the XP is bad enough now. Well, it's still pretty good, but I'm not going to be training necromancy on rituals. I'd like to enjoy the XP I get from doing necromancy combat. It's bad enough that I might do multiply glyphs only, because I'm only going to be doing this for resources that I need, like essence, right? I guess an individual ritual does give you like 660 essence, which is pretty good. Pump those numbers up with more multiply runes. I think I'll keep the current glyphs on there, and then when the attraction ones wear off, I'll replace them with multiply. Oh yeah, it should be enough impure essence, more than enough really. 1300, yeah, that's completely fine. Okay, so I have to make miasma runes, so I made a new runecraft boost potion. I'm gonna go ahead and drink a super attack potion so I can see the stat boost countdown timer. It's really annoying that I have to do that, but that's how it works in this game. And I have to bring the faceless tokens. Alright, charging the Gregorovic seals here. I need to do one more trip, that's not too bad. I might actually do some dedicated rune crafting here. It seems like it would be pretty useful to have enough bone shield runes, because there's certain bosses where I just really actually want to use that reflect ability. Okay, got them all charged, no problem. Next up, I need to take dragon fire damage while wielding, or while having the dragon rider seals on me. That's pretty easy. I think the archaeology one's gonna be the most annoying, because I have to actually train archaeology for probably like an hour or so. We'll see. Alright, I'm just gonna see if these green dragons can proc the thing I need here. Oh, yeah, that's easy. I just stand here and let them breathe on me. It's very straightforward. The last one is archaeology over at the Zamorak one that I've actually already been to. So I don't know that I actually need anything from that site, but we'll head over there and see how long this takes. Yeah, it seems like it's exactly what it sounds like. I need to do 10 full artifacts, so that's probably going to take like an hour, maybe a couple hours. We'll see. Okay, so I need Fairy Ring access to finish getting my T90 weapon, so I'm going to have to do Fairy Tale Part 1 and part of Fairy Tale Part 2. Shouldn't be a problem. Double check the requirements. I don't think there are any changes from the first game. I'm curious if I can just, like, nuke the shit out of the boss instead of using the secators. I think you have to use the secators. I guess I could just base tank it. Looks like I still had some artifacts left over on me from before, like the hookah pipe, so I'll do that, and that should give me one of the seals empowered. Yeah, that does work. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm trying to look ahead here, and it seems that once I finish this, I'm still going to need 85 smithing to be able to actually craft the weapon upgrade. I might be able to get away with 83 smithing if I go get a Dwarven Stout, or I think a God Banner gives me a +2 boost once per day, but I only need it for a couple crafts, so that's probably reasonable. I think leveling up smithing shouldn't be too big of a hassle, relatively AFK. I'm going to have to go mine for some Bainite ore, but I have a million Bainite stone spirits, so it should be relatively quick. I won't be able to use it today, though. I think today is going to be a lot of mining and smithing. Probably a waste, but I'm going to use some porters here just so I can get some chores done and make some breakfast for myself. Archaeology 47. These levels are good because I do eventually want to make a permanent passive Ring of Luck or Fortune or whatever. Archaeology 48. I've got 4 of these. I need to do 6 more. I'm reacquainting myself with archaeology here. I think the skill makes more sense now that I have invention unlocked. The last time I trained it, I didn't have invention, so I was kind of like, what's the point of this? This just kind of seems to be like self-serving. Just a loop that reinforces itself, other than unlocking relic powers, right? That makes sense. But now that I understand that you eventually want to disassemble the artifacts for components to use in an ancient invention, that makes way more sense. Anyway, I'm just calling this out to say it's cool that you get this imp mask, and then you have to come out here to the Slayer Tower to get leather scraps to repair the imp mask. Has you teleporting around the game world to get materials. That's neat. Okay, so this is really cool. The next thing I have to gather for the imp mask, I mean, there's a way I could get it that would be more complicated. It would involve me doing more archaeology, but I can also just get it from Krill's chamber in the God Wars dungeon, which is pretty neat. So it's cool that I recently did everything I needed to do to make that possible. Let me get some Zamorak gear so I don't die. It's also helpful that I have a teleport here already set to Krill. Yeah, that's funny. I didn't even notice this up here. It's a little material cache for demon hides. Very neat. That's an awesome place to put an archaeology skilling node. I'm excited to train this skill. This is going to be disjointed until I formally start focusing on archaeology, but I would like to tell you whenever I uncover Brimstone for the first time or uncover a new site. So I haven't done this one before. This one has the robes and the ritual dagger. Okay, I will go for those. I do think it makes sense to turn in a full set of each of the artifacts to the dedicated NPC and then disassemble the rest of them pretty much after that. I think turning in a full set to the dedicated NPC gets you achievements. Just selling them for chronotes isn't super worth it. I don't think, anyway. Oh, this is also kind of interesting. The ritual dagger requires a ruby. So sometimes you have to restore artifacts with items not part of archaeology. It's kind of cool. I have 2 of those. I don't know if I have the rest of the materials. I can't wait to get the auto screener, but I don't think I can use it until level 70, so we got a long ways to go. All right, 3 more of these. Okay, I think regardless of how quickly I finish this, I'm going to stick with archaeology just to unlock a research team, because the research team sounds like it's like a garrison type daily, right, where you send people out on expeditions and they come back. So I'd like to be able to do that, add it to my daily list. All right, I'm working through my Zamorak collection here. I can show you which ones I've recovered. So we got the hookah pipe, wine goblet, crest, painting, imp mask, robes, dagger. I need 2 more, the lesser demon mask and the greater demon mask, and I think that's from here, question mark? Cultist footlocker, yeah, this is the last ones I need. Archaeology 49. Oh man, I'm really glad there's bad luck mitigation here because I've gotten 3 imp masks. I think I can restore these though and be close to done. Let me try to do that. I mean, I still have to do the rest of this collection, but I just want to get the research team up and running. Yeah, so apparently there's also a Hellfire Metal cache here in the God Wars dungeon. I really like that there's caches in the God Wars dungeon. I think that's very neat. And it's flavorful, it fits because it's supposed to be really old, right? Being able to come here and do archaeology training is silly and cool. Okay, it's really interesting that they have this restore artifacts thing because it's like way longer than all the other activities. All the other ones take like 2 minutes to do. This one took hours, but it's done now. Let me go ahead and make another imp mask. There we go. And another ritual dagger. That should be enough for me to get the assistant level up. So I'll take that and get some research interns. I thought it was supposed to. Did I not get a pop-up? Let me check. Oh, I guess I did. I just didn't get an achievement pop-up. All right. Qualification assistant. So I think I just have to talk to somebody to get this. Talk to the acting guildmaster. What's up? Ready for the ceremony. Hooray. Archaeologist moving up in the ranks. I do like that they give you these rewards and incentives to actually do the whole skill. I think that's probably my favorite thing about archaeology is that it's incentivizing you to play the entire skill and not just specific endgame ones. Yeah. Hooray. Give me interns. Something's going on with the monolith. Do I get like a reward for this? Maybe not. Manage your own research team, see what you can learn. Cool. Figure out how to do that. Access to research, access to assistant rewards in the guild shop, unlock the archaeology assistant title. Okay. Manage a team of researchers will conduct field research. Interact with your research notes. Yeah. Or is it find out what the hell they're talking about here? Oh, it's trying to send me somewhere. I understand. Presumably I can run this from Fort 4 and 3, which would be convenient. 30 minutes, cost no chronotes. Okay, yeah, so this is like player-owned port. It's garrison type content. What is this thing and why does it exist? Jimmy, sign, Scarlet, sign. Can't do that during the tutorial. Okay. That's fine. They just want me to assign one person. Research. Oh, and it gives you XP. Okay, that's cool. Probably should have done this earlier. It was pretty easy to unlock, but, you know, whatever. Discovered a way to harness more energy from the monolith. Oh, okay. It gives me more energy, it seems like. It's all cost stuff. I don't think you can fail them, which is nice. Figure out how I get more interns later. Damaged artifacts. Okay, most of these just give you XP. I see. Oh, but you can say how long you want them to go for, but it costs you more chronotes. Got it. Oh, I can only be running one at a time. All right, that's fine. I need to recover from some bank space, so I'm going to put these sigils together. These are from killing all of the God Wars 2 dungeon bosses. Make it one item instead of 4 items. And I'm going to go ahead and I need to get the blueberry pie, and that requires fairy rings. So I'm going to do Fairy Tale Part 1. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, Fairy Tale Part 1. No changes to this one as far as I know. Here we go. Okay, yeah, it seems to be the same, so I'll just report when it's done. So one of the quests I'm really excited about seeing in RS3 is the fairy quest line, because it has this funny gag with the fairy godfather and like them all being like mafia thugs, but it doesn't really resolve in old school RuneScape. Hey, it's my buddy Malignius. Let me talk to him at all about City of I guess not. Skull from the grave in Draenor Manor, no problem. Okay, I need white berries, a Mortmire pear, and a Mortmire stem. I don't know where... I've never heard of the second 2 items. I gotta look them up real quick. Oh, no kidding. Apparently they're both things you can get instead of fungus using the bloom spell, so that's straightforward enough. Okay, I got a pear and a Mortmire stem. Apparently these are the bushes you have to activate, and the little sticks are where you get the stems. Making the magic secateurs, which I probably should have done this a long time ago with all the farming I've done, but whatever, it's fine. Down 10% of the herbs I could have. Oh, slight change from old school. The Shady Grove is like an instance now instead of being physically on the map here. Probably gonna like annihilate Tanglefoot in old school. This is a somewhat challenging fight, and if you fight it early, you have to safe spot it, like flinch it, but probably just gonna walk in and it'll die instantly, I'm guessing. Yeah, close to it. The damage still scales based on my farming level, but... Queen Secateurs, okay. Alright, quest complete. I'm going to pick up Fairy Tale Part 2. which I think requires me to wait 5 minutes. I'll start working on dailies while I wait for that, I guess. A little cutscene showing all the damages in Fairy Nuff's room. I think this is all I need to do to unlock fairy rings, but I'll double check. All right, talking to Fairy Fixit, which I think is what unlocks the fairy rings officially. Now I need to go to, CIS goes somewhere else in old school RuneScape, but here it takes me to where I need to go in Scape Rune, which is where the Evil Bob random event is. And now I can go make my blueberry pie. I'm glad they kept the random event locations in the game. This is kind of funny, so I guess the idea is you have to go to Scape Rune to make a blueberry pie because blueberries don't exist in Galenor, but I guess blue is the opposite of red and Scape Rune is the opposite of RuneScape. It's pretty funny. I really like the way the city of gets more and more populated the higher your necromancy level. That's a really cool concept. You know where I could find some blueberries? What an odd question. Into an odd exchange. Met a fellow who died recently. Get at the paws of a cat. A strange land where things worked backwards. Cats rule over humans, fish cooked backwards. Maybe this could help me. Talking to Keely about blueberries, someone suggested that as blue is the opposite of red, I would simply have to find a land of opposites. They were joking, but I talked to someone else who mentioned a land where things work backwards. An evil cat, uncooked fish. Oh no. Oh right, because Evil Bob's not a thing? Because there's no random events. They're to imprison me there. That's funny, Keely used to do the random events. Okay, got it. Cool. I guess we're gonna need golden wool here. Hi there. Oh, do I actually need to do a quest for this? This technically requires Frenetic Trials, which is kind of funny. All right, hold on. All right, I guess I'll go start Frenetic Trials. I don't think I have to get terribly far to get one. As far as I can tell, it's the same quest as well, so I'll report back. All right, starting Frenetic Trials. I'll just do it until I unlock the Golden Fleece. I got to the Golden Wool step of Frenetic Trials. I just got drop tricked and got 2 of them. I think I need to use the spinning wheel in Relica to turn one into the wool I need. Then I can bring that to Bob for the blueberries. I think the joke is that he doesn't want a ball of wool. He just wants the regular wool because it's Scape Rune, which is great. All right, golden wool attained. I just have to go to Scape Rune now. All right, back in Scape Rune, talking to Evil Bob. We get some blueberries, please. Get me something in return, something shiny. Oh, I love the way he looks. He's got like a evil monocle or something. He's got the human speak amulet. Give me the blueberries. Homegrown by the prisoners. Okay, so I think I can just cook that now. I already have the pie shells. I'm not gonna be able to use this, like, because I need to get 85 smithing or boost range of 85 smithing, and I think also 85 crafting for the armor whenever I get enough pieces for it, but I'd be very happy to be done with this whole kind of like sub-quest, because it's pretty huge. This has been like over 10 hours just to work on this. All of the sub-requirements like construction and prayer. Use blueberries on pie shell. Blueberry pie. Cook. I just have to use it on the range, I guess. Okay, good lord, that was a task. I've got all the necromantic seals. I've got the pulsating onyx, soul urn, and the pie. Gathered all the things you need. Did manage to find a blueberry. Something exciting I can't tell you about. Can we eat the pie now? Never tasted a blueberry. I didn't know they existed until this task. Ah. Pretty good. Hint of sourness. Tinge of sugary goodness. And that's it. Okay, there's more to learn because there's like the power equipment, right? T90. There's not a separate power weapon, is there? So I need all these runes and the greater insult bars. And smithing 85, which I don't have. So time to work on smithing. Before I work on smithing, I have to work on mining. So I'm going to use all these Bainite stone spirits, of which I have enough to get out of Bainite, I think. I don't even think I need that much Bainite. 3152 Bane bars to go from 80 to 90. I guess actually, no, I don't quite have enough to completely cover it. I need like 1600. Well, whatever. I'm not going to go to 90. I'm just going to go to 83, because then I can boost. I'm going to get my mining gear together and go do that. First research mission's done here. View report. Oh, wow, that's actually pretty cool. Deposit all, please. So it's a way to passively get the materials you need. That's pretty helpful. Should have been doing this for like the last few months. It wouldn't have been that much longer to keep training archaeology, but well, I didn't know. What are you gonna do? May as well send both people out since I can't do two at the same time. Getting them specific restored artifacts. Okay. These are the characters from the dig site quest. That's kind of interesting. And you need associate. I'm gonna use all my crystal skill champas on this too. I think you just need to have them in your inventory. I've got like 1400 of them. It makes you crit more often while mining or something. All right, yeah, I think this is the best use of the crystal skill champas since they just give me a passive benefit and don't take up like a tool slot or something. They just make it so that my crits are stronger. So I'm gonna do this until I have 600 Bainite ore in the metal bank. That should be enough to get me smoothly to 83. Yeah, and I'm about to get a mining level up apparently. It's all passive XP from Nemi Forest, I guess. There's mining 89. All right, so I have like 600 Bane ore. That should be enough to get me to 83. I'm gonna head over to the artisan's workshop and start working on it. Got a metamorphic geode. These tend to have good loot in them sometimes. Anima crystal, fire making strange rock. Okay. Okay, like my prayer grind, I feel like I'm gonna be smithing here for a couple days. I forgot how slow smithing is. It's pretty good in terms of like getting work done because it's really AFK, so maybe I can get a couple videos edited here on my path to 83. Smithing 81, and I'll get the extra bar chance, which is really good. I'm not going to finish this today, so we're going to get those weapons eventually. I think I only need to farm a total of 8 subjugation pieces to make all of the gear for both the tank set and the power set, because I bothered to get to 103 necromancy. But I think I only need 4 pieces of gear to get the tank set, and that's going to be my first objective. So I think the candy loot plan right now, if I haven't stated it in a while, is to finish getting 83 smithing, boost to 85 to make the weapons. Once I have the weapons, I'll feel comfortable doing things like farming krill for subjugation, farm krill for subjugation, and Hermod for hermotic plates. Make the full T90 armor set, and then once I have the full T90 armor set, I'll probably start working on the power armor. And then once I have the power armor, then I can get back to doing everything else in the game, like questing. That's right, we're gonna have full T90 gear before I do Shiloh Village. It's crucial. Hey, I've got enough respect to get another blacksmith outfit piece. There it is, boots. But just get one more, and then I have to get the modified headgear option, I think. I realized with like 20 minutes to spare that I completely neglected my dailies today, so I'm scrambling to do the most important ones. It's a good sign that that's finally happening. I guess I'm gonna miss out on some shopscape is the main thing. I did all the important stuff like divine herbs and headwear items and that kind of a thing. But I want to get the Reaper task in, and I did get a chance to do Archglacier, so may as well. It's basically free. Well, apparently got a Slayer level out of that. Slayer 75. It's kind of a cool level. Okay, I did not realize this at all, but the rapid perk on my hammer makes the hammer suck really bad. It makes smithing like twice as attentive for like a 5% XP boost. It's to the point where I think the extra ticks you have to spend reheating might negate the XP gain from it. So I'm probably gonna reforge my hammer here because it's really, really bad. I'm gonna get rid of my current perks. I guess maybe I'll just disassemble it as it is. It's like level 7. Maybe I can hold out for level 9. I don't know. I don't like it though, and I want to put a different perk in there. I might put on the one that makes it get item XP faster, because that's more important to me long term. I have to run a Zoom call on this machine, so I'm not going to be able to record for a bit. So while I'm running it, I'm just going to keep smithing here. I might end up dinging 82, but I'll let you know when I get back. Okay, I'm back to it. I didn't get a level up at all. In fact, I realized that I undermined for Bane. I needed way more Bane than I did. I got like half as much as I needed. So I had to pop out and do a little bit of mining. So I think I'm going to make a second burial set. We'll see how close that gets me to 83, and I'll see if I can squeeze out the rest of it. All right, my Hammertron just hit level 8, which means I can get the gizmos off of it. So I'm going to disassemble it and replace it with something that doesn't have rapid, because I think rapid sucks. It makes smithing terrible. And I mean, the wiki says it's an XP gain, but I think it's an XP loss. I think the ticks you have to spend re-upping heat mean you lose XP, even if you were like clicking optimally. The fact that it's a flat doubled heat usage, but the percentage chance to get extra progress is like scaling with the level. Maybe it's an XP gain if you have the max level of rapid, but don't think the base level is going to cut it. Disassemble, cover installed gizmos. Okay, sure. Don't get a level up. Got the gizmos back. Let me make a new one here. I need to go get a hammer. I don't know if I have any in my bank. Let's see. All right, I'm going to see if I can get Enlightened and Wise. Enlightened alone would be fine if that's all it gives me. No, there, Enlightened and Wise. That was easy enough. And I'm not going to use Rapid. I will use Breakdown, though. Oh, this is much better. That double heat usage, man, it ruins smithing. Smithing is one of the most AFK things in the game if you can have a full inventory of unfinished items like this. 82 smithing, 1 to go. I'm probably going to have to make another burial set to finish getting 83. Oh, hey, ceremonial sword. I haven't gotten one of these in a while. Ended up being a pretty solid sword, I think. Didn't destroy it. 99% of its potential experience. Awesome. Here should be, there it is, 83 smithing. I'm going to finish up this item I'm making, and then I'm going to go try to get a god banner and see if I can boost to make this. Okay, so I think I can just talk to this guy and get a banner. What are my support for the godless? Take this banner to show your support. So I have to figure out how the boost works. Yeah, the wiki wasn't clear about this, so I guess I have to do a task set, 3 bowls of scrambled eggs, 3 bronze two-handed swords. Making the bronze two-handed swords, I think I might have to do all of his tasks, which is fine. It's going to be less time than it would take to get smithing to 85, but this is less trivial than I thought it was going to be. Offer your goods to the emissary. Yes, please. Fragments of a strange metal. Find them while fishing, mining, or wood cutting. Okay, I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'll give it a try. All right, second task set. I'm going to try to chop maple trees, I think, since it looks like acacia trees don't work. Okay, this is relatively fast. I was worried it was going to be like a 1 in 100 or something drop, but it's like 1 in 5 or something. Really having to work for this weapon upgrade, but it's cool because it actually feels accessible and not based on RNG. Look at information on more fragments. Need a signal. Place a bonfire or a flag in Varrock Square, Remington Square, Arduin Marketplace, and Drainer Marketplace. Strips of cloth and 40 crafting. Okay, I think I can get strips of cloth from Bill. Let me check. Totally forgot looms were a thing. I'm like, where the hell do I get strips of cloth? I know where I get bolts of cloth, but not strips of cloth. I think I use these on the banner. Oh, but I have to do it in a specific location. Okay. Contact emissary using flag. Done. So do 3 more of those. Making the other flags here. I guess I have to build it and then wait for a second for someone to show up. And here's the last flag. I still have to do a couple more tasks. These are all pretty quick, it seems like. I've been working on this T90 thing for like almost a week. It's not that bad. Today's Thursday. I started working on it on Monday. 5 more fragments, this time from thieving. Pickpocket Arduin Knights. Okay. Pickpocketing Arduin Knights. Classic. Okay, and they're also pretty reasonable. Maybe it's like 1 in 5. All right, that took no time at all. Contact emissary, jobs, skill-based jobs, another job for you to do, written instructions, yes. I think this is the last thing I have to do. So I need 4 smooth stones, more gemstones, 4 strong sticks, then a bunch of runes. Kind of interesting, you like use the banner on a tree and it gives you these sturdy sticks. I have to go do gemstones and smooth stones. Use banner on rocks. We'll do fishing after this. Making a prepared metal artifact here. Knew you could do it. Additional training in your skills. I will take it in. I think fishing is the slowest of these 3. And I'm gonna need crafting because I need 85, I think, to make the T90 armor. Oh, I think we're, well, summoning, right? Maybe even prayer. No, prayer I can just focus fire. I can focus farm for bones. This is the only one that saves me money. The rest of it just saves me time. Proved banner. When you contact me once per day, I can boost a non-combat skill for 30 minutes. Okay. Didn't realize it was a 30-minute boost. That's pretty convenient. Let's go make these items. Okay, I'm at the Soul Forge. I need 100 flesh runes. Yeah, so I need 100 of all the rune types. So I just need to make flesh runes, and I have to get my ensouled bars. Making 100% sure I have all my items before I start the boost here. I have 100 of each rune, 10 greater ensouled bars in each item. So I'm gonna go activate the boost then. Contact emissary, skill boost. Smithing, please. Perfect. I like that it's for 30 minutes. That's quite nice of them. Okay. Upgrade Death Guard. This took so long. It's a gigantic upgrade, though. Like, the accuracy increase alone is going to be massive for DPS on a lot of these bosses. Upgrade Skull Lantern. Okay, beautiful. Looks cool as hell, too. And the only upgrade now for Necromancy is if I were to fight Raziel, which I probably want to wait until I have T90 armor, and probably better jewelry too, but this is what I've been waiting for. So now that this is finally tier 90, I feel comfortable attempting Krill, which is what I'm going to do next. I'm trying to get my gear together. I only need 4 pieces of subjugation to finish my whole tank set, so it shouldn't take too long, I hope. It's still probably going to be like hundreds of kills, but... That concludes the episode. Next episode, we're going to be working on farming a lot of krill. Many hours of krill. I'm just going to sit there until I get enough subjugation pieces to craft all of the tank and power armor. Getting my full Necro gear outfit is going to kind of inspire a burst of ennui about RS3. Like, I'm not going to quit the game or anything. I still have many hundreds of hours of VODs in the bank to show you guys. But it's like if you've ever played a video game before and, like, turned on cheats or turned on a Game Genie or something, and then there's suddenly had this asterisk appear above your head as you have the bubble pop epiphany, like, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time with this? That's kind of what happened after I got all my Necro gear together. I think you're going to hear my thoughts on Necro overall interspersed over many episodes, but my main reaction to it is like supreme disappointment at the way it profoundly has shrunk RS3. I talk in this episode while doing the God Wars 2 dungeon bosses about wanting to come back and farm them, but like, why bother? Why should I farm them? They drop stuff that's not related to making Necro better, and why would I use anything other than Necro at 98% of the game's content, right? So this ennui coincided with me suddenly having a lot more responsibilities in my normal working day, outside of both preparing for stream and for my Dungeons & Dragons game. So after finishing the Necro grind, I kind of go into total AFK mode for like months. Like, I'm literally looking at my list of skills and trying to find the thing that's AFK that's worth doing. RS3 isn't structured like old school RuneScape, where I feel really excited about pursuing quests as soon as possible because of the downstream unlocks that they have. Like, there are still exciting downstream unlocks. Getting to Prif, for example, from finishing the equivalent of the Song of the Elves quest sounds amazing. But unlike old school RuneScape, I don't feel super inspired to do the quests because, like, the normal methods of training skills are fine 99% of the time. So as far as the future of this series is concerned, it's going to be kind of interesting because I think it's going to be the opposite of the old school playthrough. The old school playthrough was, let me get the quest cape as soon as possible, and then I'm going to do a bunch of weird edge case skilling content to get the diary cape. Here I'm going to end up probably maxing before I get the quest cape, which I guess is appropriate for RS3 because the game is... I've called the design and the player base very max-pilled, that the game is designed assuming that its player base are mostly maxed, and the players assume that everybody's maxed. But I guess from your perspective as YouTube viewers, I would expect a big stretch of episodes to mostly be level up dings and, you know, uncovering new content that's been unlocked from leveling up side skills. I have a plan now for closing out my old school RuneScape chunk account, and then once I do that, I think I'm just going to pivot to hard rushing quests, doing nothing but quests in RS3 until the quest cape is unlocked. As far as my long-term goals for RS3, the quest cape is the minimum that I want to get to before I close out the series, but given the way the game is structured and given how easy it is to max, I'm probably also going to max. One of my soft objectives in my old school RuneScape playthrough was to do all of the PVM content a decent amount, and I just don't have that inspiration in RS3 because of the way Necromancy has destroyed everything. And it's like, it was already pretty deprecated before Necromancy, but Necromancy was just like possibly one of the biggest content sledgehammers in the history of MMOs, to be honest. So anyway, still plenty of content to come. I'm really excited to show you basically all of the archaeology skill, which is a skill that I really like. And eventually, far down the line, we'll get back into questing. We'll see you next episode. Bye.